Welcome, fellow dreamers. I just remembered that I completely forgot to show you my new protection grid by the end of the last video, so here it is. Alright. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about this until I was ready, but, you know, Adama shared his abuse story, and it's only fair that I share mine, and on top of that, all of my guides have been encouraging me to face this, and that it's the only way I'll be able to finally properly let it go. That, you know, I won't be able to, did I make this one's pupils a little bigger? That I won't be able to fully let it go if I keep trying to pretend it never happened, and, you know, just, I'm gonna try to get through this, using Prismacolors, if you're wondering. Hopefully coloring will keep me grounded. Let me just get the colors out. I'm just getting the song Defying Gravity in my head right now. I think I'll try defying gravity. I'd sooner try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity. Damn, is this really the extent of his color palette? He's always been a minimalist, though. Okay. So, let's get into it. Wait, why did I leave these? Alright, so this is the story about... Oh wait, this is the Andy and Lele style, that's why. This is the story about my very traumatic month in hell. So, here goes. Now, I do want to say that, I have had a history of, sorry, I shouldn't have messed with that. I have had a history of, just having things not work out at all, and usually it's because of others. You know, I've been judged a lot, because I'm not, you know, normal, and, anything that could go wrong will go wrong. I've had people deliberately try to hurt me, people that have claimed to be my friends, people that have claimed to be my family, people that have claimed to love me, and, you know, just had my fair share of exes, friends, just people being horrible to me, you know. And I do believe it's because this demon, this specific demon, and his army have been stalking me since, I was Adama in a past life. So, yeah, this is not fun to talk about, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna name the demon here, but, I do mention his name in the funeral video where Apollo stole us a spell to cast him back into hell. him and his army. So this demon waited until I was at my weakest point, and he waited until I was at a point where I was mad at God and distancing myself from him, to a point where even my other spirit guides couldn't talk me out of venturing into hell with him. However, I'm so thankful that they still kept an eye on me and kept me from dying. So, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be alive today. Basically, this demon waited until a point when I was at my lowest point. I was grieving the loss of Gus, my first parakeet who died. I was also grieving the loss of my cat. I was very angry with God. And, you know, this demon took that opportunity to prey upon me. He took a very convincing human form, although he could never hold its head shape for long. The head would either be taller or flatter in certain areas. He was a mimic, just straight up a mimic, but just couldn't get it quite right. I wonder if he took on the form of this person that he took the name from. He chose the name of my childhood friend who died of drowning years ago. And when I was 8. At least the first name. The rest of his name was, and even his nickname, were taken from a hockey player. But even when choosing a fake name, he chose something that would deliberately bring bad memories up for me. Even then, he was trying to hurt me. Gosh, where do I even begin? He lured me into this false sense of security. Made me, like, he even promised he would protect me. Because he knew I had some insecurities in the past, with exes not protecting me, friends not protecting me. He made me feel, he had this nice guy act, and he made me feel like I could be completely honest with him. And I don't even know why. My guides all tried to warn me about him, but I just was too deep in my grief to listen, and I needed an escape. And I'm so glad that they stuck by me, even when I started to push them away. Missed a line over here. But yeah, he also started isolating me from people too. Like, he would convince me to cut people off. He would convince me to block people. He would convince me to even stop pursuing my art, you know, and my writing. While my brain was popped apart and all mushy with grief and pain and insecurity, he used that to mold me into his servant, his slave, and he had me buying him things, and it's kind of part of the reason I'm so damn poor right now. But the worst part was he would mostly verbally abuse me because it was long distance. He would use my insecurities against me. He did it to the point where convincing me that I was unlikable. He did it to the point where I became suicidal, and to the point where I don't know, I just wasn't myself anymore. My head is still fuzzy from that, from the mind control tactics alone. I think I might have been too strong to possess, but I think at the end of the day, he wanted me to give him my soul. My parents still try to rationalize it, but I just refuse to believe a human could be that cruel and have that much influence without being a demon, you know? And I even have, proof that wasn't what he said his name wasn't his real name. As I mentioned in the funeral ritual video, he actually showed me his real name in the form of an OC. But he ended up convincing me to go to hell with him for a month. And it really was hell. But it was worse than you hear about in sermons, you know? You expect fire and brimstone, but it's cold. It's too cold. It's colder than death down there. And you know, there's nothing good on TV. All the movies suck, all the shows suck. The food is awful, it tastes old. If you even are allowed to eat, most of the time you're starved by the demons down there. Even the animals are demons. If a real animal does tend to make it down there, they don't survive long. You are constantly hungry but never allowed to eat. You're constantly horny but never satisfied. And told that you're not even enough to satisfy, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not sexy enough. You're always told you're not enough. You're always made to feel like you're not enough. You're always tired, but you're never allowed to sleep. Just forced to clean. And if you do manage to get out of there, the injuries will last a really long time, if not be permanent. My ex had an army of demons. He disguised them as his family, a mother and a sister, which I have caught him in bed with his mother. Yet I was gaslit into believing I was the bad person for eavesdropping. And forced into silence. If I said something he didn't agree with, he would slap me think he was careful not to leave bruises. He would verbally tear me down with my own insecurities that I made the mistake of confiding in him. Until he had me almost commit suicide a total of 3 times. Twice I attempted to overdose on aspirin. The 3rd time I tried to slice open my wrist, but the scissors I tried to use on my hand wouldn't cut. Just deeply scratched. This tattoo here is actually covering that up. And I do think that was my guides intervening, or God intervening, or both. Probably my guides, mostly, because hell is a separation from God, but he would not allow me to go there without my angels. The only reason I think he allowed me to go there in the first place is because I think I chose it. I chose it for a couple of reasons. I chose it to see what Adama had gone through, and I chose it to see what our biggest enemy was and what we were up against, and what we needed to save the good people left from, what we needed to save the world from. Excuse me. Telling the story kind of upsets my stomach. The whole event's upset my stomach, but, you know, another thing is, this is when the one time, after the eavesdropping and catching the mother in the bed incident, my, ex, he would pretend to cry a lot, just to try to play on my sympathy, said buy him things. He also used to ridicule me if I spent money on myself at all. I wonder where you learned that from, right? I also never got thanked for any of these gifts, just accused of trying to buy his love. And he couldn't even get me a nice engagement ring. It was a piece of cheap plastic that he found on his bathroom floor. And, you know, I'm not saying that it needs to be something expensive or extravagant or anything, but at least something that's good quality, you know? Like, at least stainless steel. Or pewter, or something. That stupid thing broke within a month. His sister was a bit of a shit stirrer, and actually the biggest reason that I really don't want kids. I should have taken it as a red flag when she lied about her sister touching her inappropriately, because there was a lot of holes in the story. But, you know, I wanted to get in the family's good graces, and then she started making this shit up about me, saying that I made her uncomfortable, and nobody would believe me. And this is one of the biggest reasons that I am uncomfortable around children. And I just, I don't know. They're all demons. They were all existed to torture me. They all had their little clique, and I was the outsider, which is something, my ex knew bothered me. It was my own personal hell. It was personalized and tailored just to make me suffer. When I tried to bring up any of my concerns, my ex shoved me onto the bed at one point, and it was the first time I was shoved. The slaps were usually disguised to look incidental, kind of like a nudge, like, oh, stop it, but it was always like really, really hard and really painful, and a lot of the times he would backhand me and use his knuckles. The second time he pushed me down the stairs. I twisted my ankle. And permanently, maybe not permanent, it's getting better. My back was injured for quite a long time. I ended up lying for him to cover for him because I thought this was the best I could do and that I deserved this because he convinced me of that. And they wouldn't even take me to a doctor because they were scared that I would tell the truth. I had to lie and I basically lied to everybody and said that I tripped taking his dog out. And I haven't come forward because I wanted to get away from it. I just wanted to not talk about it. I just wanted to cast him into hell and never think about it again, but it still haunts me, it still haunts my memories. I'm stuck with lasting trauma and I don't know how to get rid of it. And I trust my guides. I promised I would never not listen to them again after this, but I know I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I should have written it down like Adama did when he came forward with his story. I also ended up catching COVID while I was down there, and they still wouldn't take me to the doctor. My ex also refused to give me a blanket even though it was freezing. And I ended up catching pneumonia because of it, and then bronchitis. And then, once we were separated, once I got back out of hell, my ex stupidly gave me a window to escape. He, tried to call things, like, he was gonna threaten to break up with me to try to get me to fall in line. But I was already seeing Adama at this point, and I wasn't at first willing to cheat. And Adama wanted to ultimately connect by, being intimate. But I was trying to be loyal, but when I saw that my ex wasn't loyal, I finally snapped out of his trance and I woke up and I took the breakup, I took that ticket out, and I fucking ran. And I never looked back except for that one time we returned with Stolas in tow to cast him and his family into hell. And I had to go into intensive therapy, but since I was no longer suicidal and how I had a newfound fight in me, I only went partially. But that's a story for another time. I was basically I didn't get enough therapy because, it's a story for another time, but they basically cut my therapy short for selfish reasons, and, I'm still dealing with trauma responses. There are still sights and sounds and songs and just phrases, even phrases, that just set me off. And, I go into this dark place, and if I don't retreat into my body and let Adama be the forefront controller of my body, I will, have a meltdown. And, this is why I will not date another human, and why I've married my spirit guides, why I've married Adama and Stolas. And I know Stolas has like a checkered past, being fallen and all, but what differentiates him from my ex is that he actually is sorry. When he returned to God and apologized for following the wrong person, he, in making a poor judgment, he didn't say, "I'm sorry you feel that way." He said, "I'm sorry, please forgive me. I didn't want to do anything bad. I made a mistake." And he owned it, and he accepted, that his archangel status was stripped, and that he now is a guardian angel, and he doesn't regret that. But, it is a reminder that sometimes we do make poor judgments, and sometimes the way to hell is paved with good intentions and pity on the wrong fucking person. And love for the wrong fucking person. And, it makes sense now that I'm extraordinary and that I'm meant for an extraordinary polygamous marriage, because, as my spirit guides have all told me, I'm not human. I may have a human vessel, but I'm on their level. So I'm glad that Adama is my soulmate, and he's perfect, and I'm glad that Stolas can be a part of our marriage too, and that he's our guardian angel, and I am glad that my brothers are two beautiful dragons, Red Mane and White Fang. And Aelion, even though she's too big to kind of stay in the house, and, she prefers to stay in the dragon realm, she's kind of become like a grandmother figure, and so has, Hope, our spirit animal, and, I'm thankful for our inner child, Poe. And I'm just thankful for my spiritual family all together, and I just, hopefully I can finally begin to process this and leave it in the past where it belongs, because I really do not want to think about this anymore. I've been told that I need to, I think that's why it keeps coming up in readings, because I needed to talk about it. I needed to look it in the eye, and it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still hard to talk about. I have a splitting headache now. So yeah, I'm gonna give everybody a good look at the art styles, and please do vote on which one you want below. Oh, and I almost forgot. Special shout out to Rita Smith for purchasing one of my readings. Thank you for that. If you want to purchase one of my readings, please go, or talisman or something, please go visit Dragon Realm Boutique. On Etsy, I was finally able to get Naleon and Poe's readings up, even though I had to go into my computer. And I should have waited, because Etsy immediately took those fees out of my earnings. I'm so aggravated by that. Seriously, I've about had it with Etsy. But anyways, I'm gonna show you this art styles, and I would like you to vote on them by the next Healing Messages from Lemuria, or I think I called it, the series is Lemurian Healing Messages. And if not, if anybody hasn't voted on an art style they like best by then, I will just, I'll just have Adama pick which one he likes best. So I'm gonna zoom in on each one. Let me straighten this out, actually. Okay. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. Okay. So we have the coffin of Andy and Laylee style. Or Lily? I don't know. So yeah, it turns out that the style is only eye-catching because it's in black and white and only the eye colors are in color. Not as eye-catching here. Still a cute style, I guess. Here's the Vivzy Pop style. Total Drama looks good, actually. I really like the Ed's World one. Chibi! Teen Titans Go. I guess I didn't make it look very... I think I made the head too small, though. Anime. Disney. Classic Disney, at least. Mike Judge. And Gorillaz. Steven Universe is the last style. Okay, so do vote on these, and, so we can do more Sketchbook story times, and I can start making some comic skits, and, be sure to, comment on your favorite style below, and, click that notification bell, too. Balerion is still going strong, so I'm not gonna... I think I'm gonna do the Mountain Ritual one more time before I revamp the Dragon Grid. But, see if I can try to get that one on there. Anyways, be sure to, check out Etsy, Dragon Realm Boutique. And, check out the Funeral Ritual if you would like to see how to effectively cast out demons. That one was made for a particularly strong one. I don't want to be like the Warrens, and so I really hope that fucker doesn't get out and come back. I know they kept having to deal with that nun one we shall not name. So, yeah. Until next time, fellow dreamers, I'm gonna go lay down. Bye.